My grandfather, he left Palestine, he was 6 years old. It was 1947, 1948. So they actually left everything in Palestine and they just went to Syria, hoping that they will come back to Palestine one day. We were born and raised in Syria. We are the third generation. We could feel it. We know that we are originally from Palestine. But according to Syria, we feel it's like it was normal to live there as a Palestinian. Like you don't feel at all that you are like different or you are a refugee. You feel like it's your own home.
We were having a good life. We were raised in a very safe environment. You could have very proper job opportunities, education. My father left Syria first in 2011. In 2012, July, we planned to visit my family in Saudi Arabia so we can go for Umrah and Ramadan and just spend like a month to 2 months there.
Unfortunately, when we arrived to Saudi, everything got worse in Syria. Our like neighbors' building got bombed. So our house got burned. Yeah. So they destroyed everything, even like photo albums of my mother and father wedding, our pictures. Yeah. So after that, my mom and my father, they discussed about that it's not safe to go back to Syria. So it's better to come to Malaysia since my father is here. So why not to come? For us, it was really surprising that it was not in your plan, you know, that we were feeling that we're gonna go back to Syria to proceed with our study, we'll see our family members. But suddenly everything went very different because of the revolution in Syria.
The first thing we were aiming for is to have continue our education. We were lucky that we had the chance to go to the school, so I studied there for 2 years to continue my high school education. And then going for university. It was smooth. I could register under the UN, maybe because we came here earlier. I feel I was very lucky to be able to continue my higher education, even before having the Mahar card. Studying here and growing up here was very nice, very nice, very enriching. Getting to know different people from different culture. Even we were meeting not only Malaysians themselves, we were meeting different Arabs from different countries that we didn't dream of meeting them anywhere else. Despite maybe having some, let's say, financial difficulties, that also might be related to being a refugee, because job opportunities is different for my parents and also for us for me after graduating. And for now, after having the Mahar card, I feel comparing to other friends and people I know who just have this instability and feeling unsafe, that they might be, they need to leave the country at any time. They're not safe enough, they might get arrested and stuff. I mean, we do feel like we're having a privilege.
We feel safe sometimes, and sometimes actually we feel like responsible. We try our best to help such families, because we were like them one day.
And we're still from the same community, but having different status, legal status, let's say, but we're still the same community.
And we leave it around only half an hour. Only. It will become tasty. You will like it.
actually the best cooker after my mom.
Actually, from
You
now-
should ask mom.
If I'm-
She's the professional one, so she can decide.
If I'm not
Don't
fasting
play
now,
with
I
food.
would eat.
Don't play with food.
Just do your job.
Kids, don't play with food.
I know how to eat, but I know how to cook as well. But I've never did it here.
We all do like housework, but Leen no, because of this she cannot decide. As a child, I didn't actually feel that I'm refugee. Like I couldn't like even imagine what's the idea of being a refugee and like not like having that much opportunities. But now, as an adult, as in like a person who should be independent, like financially, and who should like have responsibility to take care of yourself and your family, it's really hard. Now I can really imagine that it's not that easy. Like if you want to travel, it's hard. If you want to have a job, it's hard. For refugees, it's like to have 100 steps to go to anywhere or to do anything. So the idea of working harder, it's such a big actually pressure. I lost a lot of opportunities because of my passport. Like I lost two scholarships because of my passport. It was the idea that I need to travel and come back, and this was a very risky thing to do as a refugee, because maybe if I go out, I'm not allowed to go back to Malaysia. So I dropped my 2 scholarships. It is a sensitive actually word to use nowadays. Why? Not because the idea of refugee is bad, but because of the stereotype. Because people will think, oh, that you are telling them, oh, you are a refugee, then as I mentioned, you are poor, you are dirty, you are uneducated, you have nothing to talk about, you have no interest, a lot of stupid things. But for me, I don't like to have this mentality that refugees are like those who cannot work or who cannot like work on themselves to do something for themselves or for the people or for like to the future.
Hello. Selamat berpuasa. Berapa yang Kak advice? Saya tak tahu nak apa.
Ini ada bulan Melaka.
Okay, nak satu? Nak satu. Okay. I just want send you this. Oh. Apa tu?
Murtabak.
Murtabak. Tak sabar nak bayar.
Sedekah.
Terima kasih.
Sama-sama.
Hello.
Eric, last.
Hi.
Ambil je. Saya je.
Ni apa? Oh. Ya nak belanja.
I open for you.
Terima kasih.
Alright. Now you must drink.
Yes, I
Okay.
will. Allahumma inni laka sum.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih semua. Terima kasih.
Alright, thank you.
Welcome. Nasi lemak ada?
Lemak. Nasi lemak habis eh.
Semak.
Oh, satu. Oh my god, rezeki lah juga. Terima kasih. Sama. Terima kasih, Pakcik.
Okey, bye.
Assalamualaikum. So we got all this stuff from, it's not a bazaar, like only from the nearby shop, and I'm very happy. By the way, that's the Indian nearest mama shop. We used to have the roti canai, roti sardine, roti susu in the morning for breakfast before COVID. Yes, there might be some lack of knowledge when it comes to what does a refugee mean. Most of the time, I introduce myself as a refugee because I want to break the stereotype that people having about refugees. We saw many talents and we saw kids who have skills, and we wanted to show that to break the stigma and the stereotypes about the refugee kids.
It's not actually for only breaking the stereotype, it's also for building something for those refugees who are not finding opportunities.
They can see the kids themselves, they can see that some of them are really educated and some of them are really fast learners. So that it was very easy to change that stigma, let's say. But others, like sometimes when I meet people from different NGOs, oh, you're a refugee, you might be needing some money, you need some food. No, it's not that. I need something else. Like I can work, I can offer my basic needs.
Yeah, I need work.
I need work, I need to be empowered, I need a proper education, I need to have a chance as any like a foreigner who's coming to Malaysia with a proper visa. And some of refugees actually they're having a problem with their basic needs, like a majority of them. But I mean, it's not the only focus that we need to have. Like whenever I'm working for any refugee like cause, I'm focusing on we need to empower refugees in order to make them strong and able to help themselves. We don't need to like feed them all the time. Let them be productive themselves. Yeah.
You bring the coconut, the
Yes.
green one. Ah, yeah, I like
She likes it. إجانا ضيافة أصلا شغلات كثير إجانا مختلفة.
Yes, this one. صور طفولة بدك؟
This is Safad in Palestine. This is how it looks like. Father's uncle. This is my father's grandpa and his wife. This one was in Syria. Oh my god, I miss him. He passed away after the age of 107. Fattoush always make me remember my grandma from my father's side. Yeah, she loves it too much and she has her own way, like adding some little bit of garlic with the fattoush, so I really like it. And she serves it cold, very cold, and I really like it. Yeah, I miss her so much. I remember having the winter days. I will be studying in the living room, feeling so cold, and then smelling the ريحة البطاطا المسلوقة.
Potato.
Yeah, I mean that's the real memory I have, and I remember having rice with it. That's why it's there in my mind. It reminds me of my school days and especially the winter days, even with the family. We used to have it in a very big amount for everyone to gather and eat it.
It's not about the food itself. Actually, it's about the family gathering. Like they all gather and they do around maybe 50 sandwiches, 50 sandwiches for the family. So I came here like I was 11. So of course I'm gonna like having some different habits, but that doesn't mean that I'm not related or I'm not connected to my
stronger. Like
exactly.
You can feel it even stronger.
I'm like more related to my people, and I feel that I carry the responsibility of doing something for my people.
Still, you can go to Palestine.
I cannot go. Even if I cannot go, I'm still having this Palestinian blood inside of me.
Yeah, it is an identity that we need to keep on not only defending and redefining the identity itself. We need to, for me, like we need to have it in our daily life. We need to show it even in the simple acts and actions. And even when you talk, you can advocate and teach other about your culture, like being yourself. So that's having the identity deep inside you.